and welcome to this Security and Access Manager training demo of the tab Object Access. So in this unpolished demo, I'm going to talk through all the key functionality of our object level access screen. Really the main purpose of this screen is to document your CRUD rights across different objects and also to make updates to objects en masse across multiple profiles. So on the left here, we have some profiles and permission sets. So I'm going to grab some more. Let me grab some admin ones as well. And now if I hit go, this returns all of our CRUD rights across the different profiles and permission sets for the account object. So here we can see in the top row, the AP lead gen role has got read, create, edit, delete, and view all, whereas the AP support role doesn't have access to any of the object rights. So let's say we just wanted to baseline our permissions across all profiles and permission sets and all objects within the org. We can click select object for export to Excel. I'll just grab all of these objects and then export them to Excel. And this gives us a nicely formatted spreadsheet that explains your CRUD rights and how they change across the different Salesforce objects. So just to talk through this spreadsheet, here we have our CRUD rights on the top. We have our profiles and permission sets down the left, and we have the type of Salesforce license. And then if we look at the top line, we can see the sales exec has recreate, edit, and view all, whereas the finance profile have everything. If they have the permission, it's in green. If they don't have the permission, it's in red. And down the bottom here, we've got the org it was exported from, the company name, the date of the export, and who it's exported by. And then in the tabs along the bottom, we've got the different objects, so we can see how the CRUD rights change across the different objects. So now going back to Salesforce, it's great that we can see our CRUD rights, but we might want to make some changes. So for example, we might not want finance to have delete rights, but we might want HR to have modify all and delete. So there you can see I very quickly made some changes to multiple profiles and permission sets from one screen, rather than having to click into every profile or permission set. So I'm going to give these changes a description of change. Met with audit, head of compliance, and if I hit save, that then applies the changes directly into the database. When we hit save, we also create a log. So using the drop down at the top here, we can then scroll back to see how our permissions have changed over the time. So this is saying that on the 29th of the 6th, finance did have delete rights, whereas today they don't. Finance did have modify all, whereas today they don't. So let's say you've made these changes and you've made a mistake. You can very quickly click the revert changes button, and that rolls back your changes to that point in time, taking the pressure off, allowing you to make the changes again once the issues that have been created have been solved. We can also export our logs. Let's find out one with a bit more data. So let me export this one to Excel. And this gives us an export of our logs. So here we can see we've got two columns in the export, the now and the log. So anything that's changed is in red. So this is saying that at the date of the log, finance didn't have delete rights, whereas today they do. And there's a bit more audit. So we've got the user that made the changes. That's helpful if you're a multiple admin team and you need to, so fellow admins on holiday, and you need to understand why the changes were made. You can look back via the logs. Also got the date of the log and who it's exported by. And if there's a description added in the log, it will be shown in the description of log there. So going back to Salesforce, there's a bit of advanced filtering on this page. So we are able to filter by the organization object. So that's a customer standard object or a managed package object. The reason why we separate them out is that most of the time you can't edit managed package permissions. So therefore you can exclude them from your analysis or separate them out as changes can't be made. Similarly, on the top, we've got a bit of advanced filtering to look at just your managed package profiles and permission sets, or profiles and permission sets that contains managed and standard and custom. So there's more advanced filtering up here to allow you to select what you need. So that was a brief overview of the Object Access tab. If you've got any questions or you need any help, just drop us a line at support@applicationperfection.com or press the request a feature or support button in app. That takes you through to the web page and you can just fill in the details of your request there. Thanks for watching this training video.